Retirement is one of the biggest decisions you will ever make. It's a moment of freedom, a chance to finally enjoy everything you've worked so hard for. But how do you know if you're truly ready? How do you know if now is the right time, or if waiting a little longer could make all the difference? Today, we'll walk through 6 crucial questions that can determine if you should retire as soon as possible. If you answer yes to all 6, it may be time to start this next chapter right away. But if you hesitate on even one, you might need to rethink your retirement plans. Now, this isn't about guessing or taking a leap of faith. Retirement isn't just about age, it's about financial security, emotional readiness, and having a plan for the years ahead. Some people retire early and thrive, while others jump in too soon and find themselves struggling with money, purpose, or even loneliness. That's why these questions are so important. They will help you see, with complete clarity, whether you're truly ready, or if you need to take a few more steps before you make the big decision. And here's something you don't want to miss. The last question is one that many people overlook, but it's often the biggest retirement mistake of all. So make sure to stay with me until the end, because skipping that one could mean setting yourself up for stress instead of relaxation. Now, before we get started, if you haven't subscribed yet, I highly recommend you do that now. Just click the button and turn on the bell, so you never miss a video packed with valuable advice for a smarter, healthier, and happier retirement. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. What's the biggest question on your mind about retirement? Drop a comment below and let us know. You never know, your question might help someone else who's going through the same thing. Alright, let's get started with the first question, because if you can't answer yes to this one, retirement might not be the right move just yet. Question number 1. Do you have enough savings to last at least 25 years? Many people assume that if they have a decent pension or some savings in their retirement account, they'll be just fine. But here's the reality. People are living longer than ever before. If you retire at 60 or 65, you might have another 25, even 30 years ahead of you. That's a long time to make your money last. And with rising healthcare costs, inflation, and unexpected expenses, running out of savings is a serious risk. Let's look at 2 very different retirement stories. Bob retired at 62. He thought he had enough to last, but he didn't account for how quickly expenses add up. At first, things seemed fine. He traveled a little, enjoyed his free time, and paid his bills without worry. But by 75, his savings had nearly run dry. Suddenly, he was relying on Social Security alone, which wasn't enough to cover everything. He had to cut back drastically, and the stress of financial insecurity weighed on him every single day. Then there's Charles. Charles also retired at 62, but he had planned ahead. He knew retirement could last decades, so he made sure his savings could support that. He used the 4% rule, meaning he only withdrew 4% of his savings each year, allowing the rest to continue growing. He factored in inflation, healthcare, and even some fun money for travel and hobbies. Today, in his late 70s, Charles is still financially comfortable, living life on his terms without worrying about running out of money. So how can you be more like Charles and avoid Bob's mistakes? First, look at your total savings and do a simple test. If you withdraw 4% per year, will it last at least 25 years? This is a common guideline financial experts use to ensure a steady stream of income without depleting your nest egg too quickly. Next, take a realistic look at your expenses. Housing, groceries, healthcare, insurance, travel, factor in everything. And don't forget about unexpected costs, because in retirement, surprise expenses are almost guaranteed. If your savings don't measure up yet, don't panic. You may need to work a little longer, adjust your spending, or find ways to increase your retirement income. But knowing where you stand now can help you make smart decisions before it's too late. If you answered yes to this question, that's a great start. But if you're unsure, it's a sign that some adjustments may be necessary before you retire with confidence. Question number 2. Is your debt under control? Debt can make or break your retirement. Even if you have a solid amount of savings, carrying high-interest loans, credit card balances, or even a mortgage can put unnecessary stress on your finances. When you're working, paying off debt may seem manageable because you have a steady income. But in retirement, when you're relying on savings and fixed income sources, those monthly payments can quickly become overwhelming. Let's compare 2 different retirement experiences. Sandra retired at 65 with a decent amount of savings, but she still had a significant credit card balance and a car loan. She assumed she'd be able to cover the payments with her Social Security and withdrawals from her savings. But as time went on, she realized that interest on her debt was eating away at her budget faster than she expected. Instead of enjoying retirement, she found herself stressed, cutting back on travel and even skipping social events just to keep up with bills. Now, let's look at Mark. Mark also retired at 65, but before he did, he made sure to pay off all his high-interest debt. He focused on eliminating his credit card balance first, then tackled his mortgage. When he finally retired, he had no monthly loan payments to worry about. Because of this, his savings lasted longer, and he was able to enjoy his golden years without the constant pressure of debt hanging over him. If you want to follow Mark's path, the first step is prioritizing high-interest debt. Credit cards often come with interest rates of 15% or more, making them one of the worst types of debt to carry into retirement. Paying off these balances before retiring should be a top priority. Next, take a close look at your mortgage. If you still owe a significant amount on your home, ask yourself if it makes sense to keep paying it down or if downsizing is a better option. Selling a large home and moving into something more affordable can free up extra cash and reduce financial stress. Many retirees find that a smaller home or even renting can be a smart move, both financially and practically. If you answered yes to this question and your debt is fully under control, that's a strong sign you're financially prepared for retirement. But if you're still carrying high-interest debt or large monthly payments, it might be worth waiting a little longer and focusing on financial stability first. The peace of mind that comes from being debt-free in retirement is well worth the effort. Question number 3. Is your health stable and covered by insurance? Your health is your greatest asset in retirement. No matter how much money you've saved, unexpected medical costs can drain your finances if you don't have a solid plan in place. Many retirees underestimate just how much they'll spend on healthcare. From routine doctor visits to prescription medications and potential long-term care, medical expenses can add up quickly. If you don't have proper insurance coverage, these costs can turn retirement into a financial struggle instead of a time to enjoy life. Consider the experiences of David and Susan. David retired at 63, feeling confident that his savings would last. He assumed Medicare would cover most of his healthcare costs when he became eligible. But he hadn't factored in out-of-pocket expenses, medications, or the possibility of needing long-term care. When he was diagnosed with a chronic illness in his 70s, his medical bills skyrocketed. His savings took a major hit, and he found himself cutting back in other areas just to afford the care he needed. Susan, on the other hand, took a different approach. Before retiring, she thoroughly reviewed her healthcare options. She knew Medicare wouldn't cover everything, so she signed up for supplemental insurance to fill the gaps. She also planned ahead for long-term care, knowing that assisted living or home care could become necessary later on. Because she had these protections in place, she entered retirement with peace of mind, knowing that no matter what happened, she wouldn't have to worry about massive medical bills draining her savings. If you want to retire with confidence like Susan, start by reviewing your healthcare coverage. Medicare provides basic coverage, but it doesn't pay for everything. Look into supplemental insurance plans, also known as Medigap policies, or Medicare Advantage plans to see what makes the most sense for your needs. Beyond that, think about long-term care. Many retirees will need some form of assistance as they age, whether it's in home care, assisted living, or a nursing facility. These services can be extremely expensive, and Medicare doesn't cover them fully. Long-term care insurance can be a smart investment, helping to protect your savings from unexpected healthcare costs down the road. If you answered yes to this question, meaning you're in good health and have strong insurance coverage, then you're in a great position to enjoy retirement without worrying about medical expenses. But if you're uncertain, now is the time to review your options, explore supplemental coverage, and ensure you're financially prepared for any health-related challenges that may arise. Planning ahead now can save you from stress and financial strain in the years to come. Question number 4. Do you have a purpose beyond work? Retirement isn't just about stopping work, it's about starting a new chapter with meaning and fulfillment. Many people look forward to the day they no longer have to wake up for a job, but what happens after that? The first few months might feel like a well-deserved vacation, but without a sense of purpose, boredom and even loneliness can set in. Let's look at 2 different experiences. George spent decades working, always looking forward to the day he could finally retire. But when that day came, he had no real plan for how to fill his time. At first, he enjoyed sleeping in and relaxing, but after a few months, he started feeling restless. Without work, he felt lost, his days blurred together, and he struggled to find motivation. Over time, he became isolated, spending more and more time watching TV, feeling like something was missing. Linda, on the other hand, had a different approach. Even before retiring, she thought about what she wanted to do with her free time. She rekindled her passion for painting, signed up for a local senior club, and even started volunteering a few times a week. Because of this, her transition into retirement was smooth. She stayed busy, engaged, and surrounded by a supportive community. Every day felt meaningful because she had things to look forward to. If you want to thrive in retirement like Linda, start planning now. Think about what truly excites you. Maybe it's gardening, traveling, learning a new skill, or mentoring younger generations. Engaging in hobbies or volunteering can give you a sense of purpose and structure, making your retirement years more fulfilling. The key is to start before you retire. Begin exploring activities now so that when the time comes, you already have a routine that keeps you active and engaged. Having a plan in place ensures that retirement isn't just about stopping something, it's about starting something new and exciting. If you answered yes to this question, meaning you have passions and activities that bring you joy, you're on the right path to a rewarding retirement. But if you're unsure, now is the perfect time to explore your interests and set yourself up for a life filled with purpose and happiness. Question number 5. Have you considered future living arrangements? Where you live in retirement plays a major role in your quality of life. Some people assume they'll stay in their current home forever, but is that truly the best option? As we age, our needs change. A home that once felt perfect can become a burden if it has too many stairs, requires constant maintenance, or is far from essential services. Deciding where you'll live in retirement is not just about comfort, it's about making sure your environment supports your lifestyle and long-term well-being. Let's compare two different approaches. Nancy thought ahead. She realized that maintaining a large house would become difficult over time, so before retiring, she downsized into a senior-friendly condo. It had everything she needed: easy access to grocery stores and medical facilities, no major upkeep, and a community of like-minded retirees. Because she planned ahead, she avoided the stress of making a rushed decision later on. Thomas, on the other hand, took a different approach. He stayed in the same house he had lived in for decades. At first, it seemed fine, but as the years passed, home maintenance became overwhelming. Yard work, home repairs, and even getting up and down the stairs became a challenge. By the time he realized he needed to move, his options were limited, and he felt rushed into making a decision. The process became stressful, and he regretted not planning sooner. To avoid Thomas's situation, start thinking about your living arrangements now. Ask yourself, will my current home be manageable as I age? If the answer is no, consider your alternatives. Downsizing to a smaller home or a condo can reduce maintenance and free up extra cash for your retirement lifestyle. Another option is moving into a senior living community. These communities offer built-in social connections, activities, and often medical support if needed. While some people worry about the cost, it's important to weigh the financial and lifestyle benefits. Many retirees find that the convenience, safety, and social opportunities make senior communities a great choice. If you answered yes to this question, meaning you've thought about and planned your future living arrangements, then you're on track for a smooth retirement. But if you haven't considered your options yet, now is the time to do so. Making this decision early ensures that you have control over your future and can choose the best possible living situation for your needs. Question number 6. Are you mentally and emotionally ready? Retirement isn't just a financial decision. It's a major life shift that affects your identity, social life, and daily routine. Many people focus on whether they can afford to retire, but fewer ask themselves if they're truly prepared to leave behind the structure and purpose their career provided. If you retire without a plan for how to fill your days meaningfully, it can lead to feelings of loneliness, boredom, or even regret. Let's look at two different retirement experiences. Paul had always dreamed of retiring. He imagined spending his days relaxing, finally free from the stress of work. But after a few months, he started feeling restless. Without his job, he lost the daily interactions and sense of purpose that had structured his life for decades. His friends were still working, and he struggled to find ways to stay engaged. Over time, he became isolated, and retirement didn't feel as fulfilling as he had expected. Jane, on the other hand, took a different approach. Long before retiring, she made sure she had a strong social network in place. She joined local clubs, reconnected with old friends, and even started volunteering in her community. Because she built a life outside of work before retiring, she transitioned smoothly into her new chapter. Instead of feeling lost, she embraced her freedom, filling her days with activities that kept her mind and spirit engaged. If you want a fulfilling retirement like Jane, start preparing emotionally now. Ask yourself, what will my daily life look like once I stop working? Staying socially active is one of the most important factors in a happy retirement. Joining clubs, participating in community events, and maintaining strong relationships with family and friends can help you feel connected and engaged. It's also important to shift your mindset. Instead of viewing retirement as an ending, think of it as a transition, a chance to explore new interests, contribute to society in different ways, and enjoy the freedom you've worked so hard to achieve. Having hobbies, social connections, and a sense of purpose will make all the difference. If you answered yes to this question, meaning you're emotionally and mentally ready to retire, then you're well prepared for this next stage of life. But if you're unsure, take time to build a fulfilling routine now so that retirement becomes an exciting new chapter rather than an uncertain one. So, what do your answers reveal? If you said yes to all 6 questions, congratulations! You're well prepared to retire with confidence. But if you found yourself hesitating on a few, don't worry. Now that you know what areas to focus on, you can take steps to strengthen your financial, emotional, and logistical retirement plans. Remember, retirement isn't just about stopping work. It's about creating a lifestyle that brings you joy, security, and purpose. Taking the time to plan now will ensure that your golden years are truly golden. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 questions do you feel most prepared for? Let us know in the comments below. We read every response. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you know someone who's thinking about retirement, share this video with them. It might just help them make the best decision for their future. For more expert retirement advice, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. We're here to guide you through every step of your retirement journey, with tips to help you live smarter, healthier, and happier. Remember, retirement isn't the end. It's the beginning of a brand new chapter, filled with opportunities to explore, connect, and enjoy life on your own terms. Plan wisely, stay engaged, and make the most of every moment. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.